Faith is a power. And a unity of wish and goal. Faith creates this city, this great city. Faith also achieves the extreme of Bay Area in the city. Shenzhen Bay, the bay leading to the world. The bay with the strongest global economic impact. The bay with the best city value and humanity's spiritual paragon. Set amidst the center of Hong Kong and the forefront of Shanghai, the flourished metropolis resonates with precious ecology. The ambitious goals converge with shining moments. The innovative spirit and faith to change the world. Treasure up the temperament of the Bay. Adhering to this faith, we explore global intelligence and establish new habitat mode in Shenzhen Bay. Top teams around the world join as one here. An open, inclusive, and diversified super city complex makes the life in Shenzhen Bay proper and elegant. People start to truly enjoy the architectures, sensing and absorbing every drop of essence in the city. Present the infusion of luxury and spatial aesthetics. Every unit has wide indoor space. Customized on the basis of needs. Enjoy what you wish for. Extend to the outdoor through the balcony and exposure to nature. It is the united persistence to faith and the hundreds legendary experience of Raffles Hotel that realize the cooperation on one Shenzhen Bay. It is the common pursuit of faith that gathers the top leaders and generate the power to change the world. The Life in Bay Area complex, carried by one Shenzhen Bay, is a salute between the victors and a present between the dreamers. Shenzhen Bay, the world's center of strongest urban vigor in the future of China. One Shenzhen Bay, the time mark of this city. The new height of metropolis cultural conversion. Our success starts from here. One Shenzhen Bay. Beyond the world.
Dear guests, good afternoon. So today my topic is about, as the top complex, so its breakthrough and innovation. So it's a hard topic. I'm not an architect. So One Shenzhen Bay is the first project that we develop, that I invest. It's not. I have. Yes, I was involved in the whole process. People all like tall buildings, but actually I'm afraid of being at a high elevation. So in 6th Tower of Chicago, there was one class. I took my colleague to visit there. People tried their courage. Do you dare to stand there? I said, it's no problem, but when you stand there, when you look down, your leg is shaking. It's not the issue of a matter of courage. It's just like inborn. I'm courageous and bold. Otherwise, I dare not to develop this One Shenzhen Bay project. After the video, I also have the several reflections. So Shenzhen, there are two most beautiful places. One is the sea of Shenzhen. The other one is the people of Shenzhen. In China, we have a poet. He has a very famous poem. So I want to have a house facing the ocean to enjoy the spring and the blossom flowers. Many people coming to Shenzhen, after reading the poem, they come to Shenzhen. Yes, for that poem, this has echoed the dream of many people. When I have the opportunity to develop One Shenzhen Bay project, I feel I can also realize my dream. We have our slogan, beyond the world because of our faith. So many people, they do not understand why this building is related to the belief and the faith. I think because of our belief, this support us to develop the project until now. Starting from 2008, we have already gone through 8 years. We finished our main building. I think it will take another 2 years, altogether 10 years. So 10 years of time to develop one project, it requires certain inner things to inspire you. So for that belief, where does it come from? I think it's from that our view on the development of Shenzhen. I am confident that along with economic development, especially in such a metropolitan city as Shenzhen, pursuing high-quality residence, high-quality office, living, relaxation. That is the demand from everybody deep from the heart. If we do not pursue for that ambition, why should we work hard? Secondly, I believe Shenzhen as the world-class city, to become the world-class, we need to have more world-class buildings. Personally, I have a dream that is in Shenzhen we can develop a building which is influential. This is my small dream. I hope in the future in Shenzhen, I can still leave my footprint. Previously, I was involved in the medical equipment. We said we need to have the century-old companies. But if we review the world history, century-old companies, how many are there in the world? But century-old buildings, I think they are everywhere. What is left is good. I do not hope that what I did 20 years later or 30 years later, they will be demolished. This is not what I hope. Urbanization is a very important feature of modern society. Why is there urbanization? So over the past 2 days, this is also a hot topic in the conference. In 1987, I went to Beijing. I went to USA. I heard the statement that said people want to leave the city, go into the rural area, but after past years of development, I noticed city has become bigger and bigger, from the town to city, from city to metropolitan city, from metropolitan city to super metropolitan city or super. So I'm sure Shenzhen, by one day, maybe it will have the population of more than 30 million or 40 million population. As long as we can accommodate, why such a big vitality for the city? I think it's related to the humanity for people. People hope to have more communication and exchange. Meanwhile, people want to enjoy more relaxed life.
As a developer, we need to cater for the human needs. Like Mr. Xu rightly put, he introduced the back context of Shenzhen. So I give you an analogy here. The first half of the year and the entire year, GDP of Shenzhen will be more than Hong Kong, possibly. So it will happen this year or next year to the most. And the Nanshan district, which hosts the one Shenzhen Bay, the Nanshan GDP per capita is close to the US. That's why we have world-class buildings. So without the GDP or economic growth, it's impossible to create world-class buildings. We have more than 300 public companies in Shenzhen, and half of that is in Nanshan district. And personally, I prefer complex. That means one higher towers and buildings surrounding this high tower. And I think in a complex, it's more human-oriented. So along with the urbanization process in China, there are many complexes have been built. So the complex is moving from office plus commercial to the future, where we need more residents. Residence is going to be the focus of the complex going forward. So when this government is planning on the complex, it's normally 50-60% office, commercial accounts for 20% of the complex. Residence only accounts for 10 to 20% of the complex. When I talk to the government officials, I will always say to them that the residency should be accounting for more percentage in the complex. Why? Because in a city, in addition to office, working, and commercial, another one important function of the city is providing houses for people. So when people are shopping and working in the city, you still need to live in the city to give it more energy. I remember I read an article on Times magazine 20 years ago talking about the downtown Manhattan. They're converting office into residences. I still remember the image. On the weekends, on the street, there are not people on the street, just stray dogs on the street. So that means the city is busy on the work days, but empty on the work weekends. So we want our city to be 24/7, and with a space of multiple functions. So I think the complex with the 50% of the residents is the ideal situation. So I think 50% residents and 50% for offices and commercial spaces are more suitable for the human needs in our city. Another thinking is also inspired by my impression on Manhattan. I remember I visited Manhattan in 1987. It impressed me by those high buildings and crowds on the street and the chaotic situation on the street. And in recent years, because I have a public medical device company, I went to New York all the time, and I observed the change in the city of New York. More and more high rises are emerging in New York, and I find out the people living in New York, for instance, my friends, sometimes they live in New York, Los Angeles, they move to Seattle or Silicon Valley all the time, but I found out my friends in New York, they're always there. They moved into New York in 1985, and they're still there. They told me that people never leave New York once you're in New York. Why? I believe it's comfortable for people living in New York. It provides you with diversified services and lifestyles and conveniences. So with better governance, the chaotic New York is now much better. I still remember KPF took us to the high-speed rail, which has been converted into a park of the city. That means the organic energy of New York. So let's talk about the ideal perfect and perfect complex in our mind, which is the One Shenzhen Bay. The purpose of constructing One Shenzhen Bay is to satisfy the high-end need from the super elites in your city. And luckily, we have been able to create this complex with almost 50% of residents. Not as much as I hoped, but it's still nice. So this highest tower, in our plan, we didn't want it to create high rises at the beginning. But as required by other stakeholders, we have to increase the height of this building. Now it's almost 350 meters. It has multiple functions, including apartments. This is the apartments. Here and here, here, here. They are all apartments. Here we also have a Raffles apartments. And also it has office spaces here and here. Another function, the third function here is the leisure facility. That includes hotels, restaurants here and here. We also have catered commercial space for shopping mall. For social requirements, there is a club here, and also here we have another club. And here we have a tennis club. And inside the hotel, we have swimming pool and swimming pool here. The benefit with this site is that we are right next to a super park constructed by the government. And there is a bridge, so the house owners in our complex can take advantage of that park. And for transportation, on top of this tower, we have a helicopter helipad. We believe there will be need from our clients, like Mr. Xu has said. The Guomao Tower is the destination 30 years ago, but I hope in the future this is the destination where you can take a ride on a helicopter to see the best view of the city. And we also have a Sky Music Hall here. I believe, to my knowledge, this is the highest music hall in the world. So, on top of acquiring the land and give it a name, I believe what I did is to involve these partners, starting from KPF. Mu came to me in the early days. Actually, she didn't come to me, I came to her. I went to her. At the time, there is no Shenzhen Bay. There is no university, there is no road network in the neighborhood. It's just empty land. but we told them that we're going to create a world-class building here, and we want to hire the best architect in the world. And I asked how much you're going to charge. He told me a number. I said, looks like you're charging similarly compared with the Chinese architects. They said, this is US dollar. Why I have stressed on belief? Because we have this belief. I said, US dollar is okay, and sterling is also okay, as long as you can do it for us. And we hired a KPF, a Ecom, certain tenacity, and many other. And we also hired hotel operators, Raffles, where is CCDI? That's where Mr. John is from. We also hired club operators in the world. Because that we are laymen, we have to find out the resources. As the businessman, the role I'm playing is to find out the resources and find the money. And we incentivize them. And we also hired Aub. So without them, we could not make it happen. And without me, I cannot make it happen, because I call myself the producer of One Shenzhen Bay. And during the process of this project, what we did is different compared with others, like Mr. Xu said. He said, in China, when you're developing real estate, normally you do a market analysis and find out how much you want to charge per square meter and how much you want to charge, and then you control it based on those numbers. But we don't know that. We didn't know that. We want to do beautiful things. That's why we didn't have budget for that. Mr. Chen Zhouwen is the director of design, and he heard that I wanted to make the best thing happening here, and he found out the best partners. And he didn't ask how much they're going to charge. He just gave me the contract. I have to sign it, despite how much we charge. That's why our cost director always asks me, do you know how to make a real estate project happening? And because you might lose money. That's the right concern, actually, at the time. We didn't imagine how much we can charge. So in the neighborhood, they're charging 1/3 of the price they're charging now. So without the belief, it's not going to happen. So the belief means sometimes you're stupid because you believe what you're believing. I believe that's condition prerequisite to be successful. And on top of that, you also need partners and a little bit of luck to make it happen. So design is important. And secondly, since it's complex, and we want to have better space in the residence part, office, commercial, and shopping malls are just the supplementary facilities and functions. That's why the interior design is utmost important for us. We actually hired more than 10 interior designers designing 42 sample templates room for us. They are top-notch interior designers, and I didn't know them in the past. For instance, Yabu Pushelberg, specializing on hotels, and in London, Kelly Hopen, she designs houses for royal families and David Beckham. And HBI is from Singapore. We also have Stephen Liang from Hong Kong. He's the chairman of the World Decoration Association. We thought interior design, the decoration is something the client will choose to do, but actually it's a different world. And at the beginning, when I want to do the decoration, and many friends remind me, if you are decorating yourself, you're gonna cry in a few years' time. But now it looks like our decoration, interior design, is actually the evidence of our success. Kelly Hopen sent me an email saying that her work is being published on some magazine. This is actually from One Shenzhen Bay, and many of the workpiece from Yabu has been used by many magazines, and which is not approved by us so far. So personally, when I buy a house, I will not buy those houses with bad design and decoration.
My understanding is that design through past years of practice, two different kinds of buildings, you need to have the interior design. One is like one Shenzhen Bay, is high class. The other is very low end, which you have this need. For us to do this is for the owner. They do not. It's not worthwhile for them to spend the time and the money for the decoration. For lower end buildings, it's not worthwhile for them to do decoration. Very simple. You just help them to do that. Then the customer experience will be quite good. The customer will have quite a good perception and feeling. The houses we decorate, what is our design criteria? My definition is that for our housing, the size are like big plan. For the main room types is more than 400 square meters. So by inch it will be 4,300 to 4,500 square feet. So in the world, for any city, it is quite of certain size. So for each unit, what is the standard to reach? That it reach the 5-star hotel, the presidential suite. You cannot become the president, but you can enjoy the treatment of a presidential suite. So what is shown here is just the real view. This is our delivery standard. So our so-called sample room or model room is not just to show them. This is what you get in the end. I have been to many cities in the world: New York, Singapore, Hong Kong, London, Paris. For such a big size, we have 500 suites. They are all fine decoration. I haven't in China. We have, but we invite so many designers to have so many different types of design, different room types. No, so indeed, we stand because of our belief, nothing else. During the process, to further enhance the customer experience, we have adopted the previous thing, which are not a seldom thing for the apartment, for the housing. They are all big window. This 3 or triple glazed low E glass. As far as I know, in China, applied for the housing, we are the first. In the world, I went to New York. They have one apartment very expensive, but they don't have this triple glazed. Only 432 they have this triple glazed. Our planning we are more or less the same. So they were also the planning in the year 2008. At that time we already had this. So once they have the planning, they did not imagine the price like now. Same for us. At the beginning, we were so brave that to apply this new high standard. And also we have this big flat. I do not have a staircase inside the house. So you have the kids, you have the old people. Then if you have the staircase, it will be troublesome. So for my kids, if I watch them climbing down and up the staircase, I was worried. So other than the top rooms for all the other low part. They are all the fully big flat. To make it comfortable, it should have certain floor height. So for us, the floor height for different size, it's changed from 3.5 meters to 4 meters. As far as we know, we seldom have in the houses in London. They have 2.9 meters. It will be already very good. In New York, now for new super class apartments, yes, some they have very high floor heights. So for everybody, they come here after visit, they have quite good feeling. Okay, I will be quick. We still have a lot of other points. So in China, we also have our own habit. That is, if you go to different residential area on the balcony, they are hanging different kinds of clothes, the quilt, like the national flags of different countries. No matter how high class you are, if they are hanging these clothes, the quilt here, the image will be gone. So what I did, I said, I should not allow them to hang their clothes on the balcony. So Chinese people, if you sell the house to them, nobody can regulate what they can do, they cannot do. So then later on we use the method that is, why do they hang their clothes on the balcony? Because they want to have the sun shining on the clothes. For West people, if they wash the clothes, the quilt, they have the drying, then it will be okay. Then they fold it to use it. But in China, different. After the washing, folding, drying, they still find a place to have the sun shining on it. Then we find a place. So we are east-west. So on the west side, we leave a narrow corridor for each house. Then they put their washing machine there. Then they can just hang the clothes quilt there. Then you should not put this onto the balcony. Otherwise, the One Shenzhen Bay will not be world-class building. We also have our underground parking space. I have no photo here. I think it's also quite good. Is it difficult? No. You just need to spend certain money to decorate, to have the suspended ceiling. But it will give you a feeling of different customer experience. Now you have the car. After going back, they are not coming from the lobby. No matter how beautiful you make for the lobby, it's useless. Like the French, the Maginot defense line, no matter how good it is, the Germans, they will not cross from that point. So for the parking area, we need to make it beautiful. So if you have a chance to visit One Shenzhen Bay, I suggest you go to the underground parking space. I have visited many projects for the parking space. For us, so if I say we are the second one, there will be no first place. So this is a comment from some clients. They are real. These are our marketing people. They copy this from different owners. Of course, you do the work wholeheartedly with a good location, good supporting facilities, good buildings. The price is low. Then of course the customer like it. So we sell this quite quickly. So now it's too quick for us to sell. This is some international awards we got. So Chinese award not so valuable. This is for the world, what we get in the world. Now I would like to share with you about my reflections, how to do the work properly. You must have something which can inspire you to develop one project for 10 years. So 10 years is a long time to fall in love with your boyfriend or girlfriend. Maybe only just 3 years or 6 years, it will be different. So the quality you develop over 10 years, this is very important. You must have the passion for it. This is what we summarize. Belief will generate quite good force, and with the passion, there will be great development. So I hope if possible, you can visit our site. So One Shenzhen Bay, it was blamed by the government previously. You have to spend 5 million to visit. It's blamed by the radio. No, there's no such a rumor. We say we need to validate, to verify you have such an asset. Then we'll put priority for you to visit. If you don't have the asset, you can visit. It's only you have to line up, like in the Western society, for the government hospital. Yeah, you can go there, but you have to wait. If you have money, you can go to private clinic to finish the medical treatment. Indeed, for many people, they want to come here. We have limited capability to our sales center very small. They said we need to have the big sales center. No, it's a waste because it will be demolished after it's done. So sales center is just for people to talk about the sales of the building. We don't have the big sales center. We almost sell all our buildings. So we have saved great expanding. That's all. Thank you. Sorry for the overrun.